Songpo, I'm Ashok Tirwa. I'm joined by Tandin Wangchuk. He's the lead singer and a songwriter of a band called Misty Terrace. And lately his band has caught the attention of many Bhutanese people. We'll find out more about him and his music as we take this show forward. Welcome, Tandin.
Thank you.
So let's begin by a little bit talking about yourself. So you have let's start with your education background. So you have a degree in cinematography and digital media. So where and why did you take up that course?
Thank you, Mr. Ashok and BVS for having me here. I'm so delighted to be on this program. I'm Tandin Wangchuk. I'm 23 years old, and then I did my degree in BS cinematography and electronics media from Coimbatore, South India. So I went under the RGOV scholarship, and then my interest was always in filmmaking and music. So the other word is in entertainment business. So I luckily got that course, and then 3 years in India was not really studying, it was fun. So learning was fun. And I always dreamed of, creating something, developing something, either song or movies or, MTVs. So only way to get that started was one thing, a little bit of a formal education. So that course was one gateway. So I thought that was a shortcut I had to start with.
So how are you using your knowledge that you have acquired during your course?
It helps me a lot. I mean, even in a band right now, there's a lot of technical stuff that even starting from marketing to basic internal band regulations and then rules. So everything that's setting up that the degree in education, it helps a lot. For example, in my that degree, we do a lot of this advertisement and then even a little bit of a course on marketing. So performing live, doing concerts, and then it helps a lot.
So it also helped you to get a job in Youth Development Fund?
Yes, exactly. I am the media officer here in YDF, and then most of what I do here is what I learned in my college days.
So how do you find your time between singing and being a media officer in Youth Development Fund?
I can manage that pretty well. I mean, when I joined YDF, from that continues that music line. So it was a little bit hard for the first few months. So now I'm like 1 year old in YDF, and then most of the gigs, even concerts, if they happen to happen, it usually happens only in weekends, and then weekends we have off here in YDF. So you just have to have that little bit of a balancing between work and then passion. So because full time, we don't have that full time music industry in Bhutan. So music just goes side by side as a passion. So I have been doing pretty good with the managing for now.
More than a media officer, you are known in Bhutan for your singing songs like Ngigi Thimpu and Yonfola. And how do you feel about that?
It's very exciting. I get delighted every time our songs get popular, and then people like us. Especially we have a huge number of youth, and then I feel lucky that my songs are doing pretty good.
So let's start from the beginning. When did you start singing, and how did it begin?
I started singing pretty early. I can say that I've been singing my entire life till now. So because my earliest memory from when I was age 5, I was singing. So I went to this very beautiful small school in Tashiangtil. I'm from the east. So I made sure that I was there at every concert. I remember almost many of them. So I was singing, I was dancing. Then I went to high school, Jigmisharabling in Kaling, and the same thing continued. And then the big change happened in college. Things got a little bit more serious. So the social media, the YouTube things came up to my rescue, and then all I could do was upload, and then that's how it
You're using
is now.
Phones to record your songs?
Yes. We had to start with so many things, so many amateur things. When we started, I mean, we even made videos with those Nokia phones, lah. Nokia phones, very basic editing knowledge at that time, but we had very interesting songs, lah. And when we sang, we did it with very too much of a passion, and then we uploaded pretty much of them.
Okay, now let's talk about when you were talking about you must have had your band right from the college. How did you form your band? How did you guys come together?
Misty Terrace is now today it's composed of 6 of us, lah. We have a keyboard player, 1 bass, 2 guitarists, and then 2 singers, lah. Of course, everyone is a singer in the band. It started in 2nd year in college. Bikash Gurung, the lead guitarist, is one of the oldest member. 2 of us, we decided to come on man, you're a singer too. He was a very great Nepali singer. So he plays very good guitar, and then 2 of us, being in the same college, we gathered for a small gig one evening, and then we thought we should do something, and it came out good. We had that connection, and when something connection comes, we made sure that we really needed to take it further, and then the rest of the guys joined later. But the story of Misty Terrace, I mean, forming up, everyone is a singer. Everyone is a singer, so it's a group of singers. But when we perform, I mean, they have their different roles as of today. One goes with full guitar, one with the full instruments, other instruments. So it started as a group of singers.
Maybe around that time you named your band also. Why did you name it Misty Terrace?
We wanted to, I mean, think of a very straight name that defined our music. So the literal meaning of Misty Terrace is now, by mist we refer to those mists, those clouds, those fogs, and then they also mean melodies, those lyrics, those uplifting tunes. So we have this on the other side. Then we have the terrace, which is the upper ground. You are on the top. So when you are on the terrace, so you imagine that those mists are coming, surrounding you, and then they lift you up. Those melodies, they take you up, and that world is completely different. So no other things can take you to that world. So you really need that mist and the terrace. So that's the Misty Terrace.
So what kind of music is that, Misty?
Uplifting music. Mostly
It should make you happy.
Yes.
When you listen to the songs that you write and then you sing.
It should tell a story. It should give the listeners that thing that's running inside that singer's heart.
Have you got that kind of reactions from people when they are listening to your songs? By now you have performed all over the country.
Yes. We have some.
What kind of reactions do you get?
I mean, mostly on our official inbox on social media. We have been, I mean, some people used to say like, what I've been trying to say to that girl, it's your song.
Your song is telling it everything.
Yeah, we had some people with such stories. So it such kind of instances and then reference made us more inspired. So this has been one of the secrets that has kept us going strong and strong.
Now, you are employed and you have other 5 more members in your band. What are they doing? Do they have a full-time job?
Yes. 2 of them. Chong Gelson is an architect and Bikash is working in a tech company. So Yishi Jamso, and then I have another one, Sangi Khandu. He's also working, our drummer. And we have a fresh high school graduate, Gopal, and the other one is Mr. Yishi Jamso, who is in tourism. He's working as a tourist guide. So fully employed, I can say we are 3 of us. So the other 2 is like a full-time musician.
So how do you make money for the band?
It's mostly the commercial gigs. So, and then number 1 can be the commercial gigs, but that depends on the season and then the kind of a theme that we can come up with, so that we can get people to come together and then attend our gigs. So the other one is we, due to a little bit of our name, we get invitations from other people for their weddings, for their special events. luckily we do have some, you know, older generation fans too. So that's how money comes for a tiny band in tiny kingdom of ours.
Now, the other thing is, when you are writing your songs, what are some of the things that you want to write about, or you have already written about?
I mean, Bhutan has lots of inspiration for artists, and then that's one lucky thing. And of course, the theme on love has been, you know, used for whole generation in music, especially the love songs. It runs all the time. I can say the same thing about Bhutan, and even most of our songs are about, the theme is love. It's about, you know, desperation, you know, letting something out and then expressing that in the best of ways. So, but we do have other, you know, lyrical inspirations too. I sometimes, you know, few of our songs are totally, some are, you know, about festivals of Bhutan. Some just narrate the story of, you know, a beautiful morning, a guy wakes up and he's appreciating life. So we have few songs on such themes too. But mostly it's love.
But how do you try to make it different, and at the same time, so that people can, you know, love your songs or listen to your songs?
We focus a bit more on the lyrics. We make sure that, I mean, none of the cliche lyrics are used. So if even, you know, when we sit down, you know, get a pen and write, when even few words that has been used before, if something like that pops up, even if it matches perfectly with the tune and then the kind of a theme that you're trying to deliver, we make sure that that word is not used. So we have a little bit of more focus on the lyrics.
What do you mean when you are trying to say that your lyrics?
We use fresh words, completely fresh words that sound, you know, so, you know, not so, I mean, well when you hear it for the first time, but as it goes with the song later on, people, I mean, we get used to it and appreciate it. So that has been our lyrics settings till now.
Apart from that, have you recorded your songs, and then through the sale of DVDs and cassettes, have you made some money?
We haven't, I mean, done that cassette recording and all, because, I mean, we do have a, you know, very amateur music industry in the country at the moment. So the only market that we have here is, other one is, as I already said, the concerts and the gigs, and then the next medium is through movies. So whole of our first album, it's been taken into the movies after we uploaded on the YouTube and then the social medias. So the CD business and then that kind of album sale, we even don't think of that.
Why is that? Because that's how music industry actually started, you know, songs by selling there.
I mean, there are a lot of other factors in Bhutan, especially because of that population. We can't, I mean, do that marketing pretty good. So, and what technology does these days had some side effects to music industry too. We have those Bluetooths, we have those sharings, and then that is a very, I mean, poor business these days, especially in a country with that kind of a population.
I can see that your songs are very popular in Thimphu, but you have also performed elsewhere, and I've seen, you know, a lot of young people singing along with you in other districts also. So in that way, do you think there is a market there in the long run?
Yes, I see. I'm hopeful about the future, but it will, I mean, take few more years.
So what should the music industry do?
We, I mean, don't have that concrete. We don't know who to call the music industry actually. It's made up of movies and then the other independent artists that, you know, without labels, we have this, you know, that campaign going on, and for future, not for the near future. I think I mean, Misty Terrace right now we are enjoying our golden era. We are living in a golden era, but for the future, I mean, there's scope, of course. Our audience, that attitude is changing. The market even is growing, and even, you know, the technical, that setup of the performers as well as the industry itself is growing. It's getting standardized. So therefore, future is good lah. But I have one, I mean, I can have one wish too lah. We're a little bit early to be born here. If you, seriously.
I mean, by the time you are fully matured, sometimes don't you feel that you're not giving them songs good enough to pay money or something like that?
I cannot say anything about that lah.
Because there are skeptics, you know,
Yes, yes. Like
people who don't want to spend on some things that they don't think it's worth spending money on.
I think it's about that audience attitude lah. Even we do have again much of our middle class and no that families, we are much more inclined to listen to English songs and then too much of influence from Bollywood lah. So our appreciation for local music is a little bit low. So and another the very foolish theory I believe in is that almost all of the singers, all of the musicians of Bhutan, we all live in this small city of Thimphu. So it's like the singer living next door, I'm like, who's gonna watch his show? He's just there. So there's even not that celebrity connection and then that distinction. So that kind of attitude even affects a bit lah.
But anyways, they must be thinking, I know this guy, probably I'll get a copy from him.
Yes, yes.
Is that what's happening here?
Yeah, like that too goes on lah.
I don't know whether people pay for those songs or not, but if you look at every computers in Bhutan, they'll have all the local music. It's not that they don't like the music, but the idea to pay for the music is not there.
Yes.
Do you think so?
Yes, yes. I mean, that's definite lah. None of them, I mean, we can have a list of CDs, list of Bhutanese local songs. I mean, of course, people listen. It's not that we don't have, people who don't listen to our Bhutanese songs. They do listen lah. But that, habit and that concept of showing support for the artist. In the West, I mean, how do the bands survive? They survive because of their fans lah. So fans appreciate the music, and what happens is
they want to own it.
Yes. And they support it. They support it, yes. They support it by buying the CDs, going to the concerts, and then that's how their bands come up with the next album again, and that to please them again. So, but we have a little bit of a different situation here.
So people go to a concert,
yes,
enjoy the songs.
Yep. We do have people who appreciate, yes. They like our songs, they even sing our songs. But when it comes to supporting, I mean, financially, let's say that I'm coming up with a very huge fundraising. People hardly will turn up, And one thing is, even we have a big role that the movie industry plays. You make a very shitty crap movies, investing some money, people will go there. But you make a very good song, everyone will sing, everyone will even know the song. But when it comes to supporting, it's just some singer's song. Let's leave to that and just listen. That's over in Bhutan.
So I was listening to some of your songs. I also enjoy your songs, by the way. But I also felt that in a way you are also trying to tell stories.
Yes.
What do you think? Are you a storyteller?
Some stories which are, which haven't found their, ways, space to, go through, and then music is one very strong platform to represent that theme and then that story. So I've had some stories in some songs. We have this Thimpu Bhavisa. It's about a morning story. So a guy wakes up and then he appreciates life, of course, but there's the romantic theme coming up in the later part of the song. So he walks by and then he just sees that girl. And then he just had a beautiful dream that early night, that other night. In the dream that God said, you're going to meet the jewel in the world. So on that same day, when he walks by, so he's thinking that that dream can be right. So a little bit such kind of stories. It's it's put into the song, it adds up to that story. So it's like the story beautifully told.
Okay. On that note, I'd like to thank you very much.
Thank you.
And please continue to tell the story, your story, our story, the story of this generation. And we wish you all the best so that you can, as you go along in your, follow your passion to, sing and write songs, We wish you all the best. And I'll also like to thank our viewers for joining us. I'm Ashok Tirwa. This is Goodbye.